with this, what the attitude of Colonel Grijaldo with regards to invitations for him to attend this hearing. Diba, yung committee hearings in the House is still part of the official duty, supposedly, of a police officer?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, when he was absent during the 10th joint public hearing last November 7, our office issued a notice to explain to Police Colonel Grijaldo, and the same was referred to the Directorate for Investigation and Detective Management for pre-charge evaluation and investigation. Last November 26, the Directorate for Investigation and Detective Management informed us that they are currently conducting a pre-charge investigation, an admin case of neglect of duty to Police Colonel Grijaldo regarding his absence last November 7 of the 10th joint public hearing, Mr. Chair. Last November 27, when he again did not appear during the committee hearing, we again issued a notice to explain to Colonel Grijaldo, and the same was referred again to the Directorate for Investigation and Detective Management, Your Honor. So he is currently have a pending case, ongoing case for neglect of duty, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Can it fall with the grave neglect of duty?
We will refer the matter to the Directorate for Investigation and Detective Management, Your Honor. Because they
Mr.
were
Chair.
only informed as, Your Honor, Mr. Chair, that neglect of duty was filed already regarding his absence last November 7, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
So, may case na, admin case na that was filed.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your
And
Honor.
the standard operating procedure or the process, how many days for him to reply?
Mr. Chair, he was given the notice to answer regarding the charges against him. May I refer the matter to our SLO, the legal officer, regarding the process, Mr. Chair? If it's okay, Mr.
Please,
Chair, Your
please. Ano lang po, mabilis lang po kasi we have to proceed with the next item.
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. The proceedings po sa pre-charge evaluation, dito po yung i-determine yung probable cause, kung probably guilty siya or not. So, he will be given 10 days to submit his counter affidavit. And then after nun po, within 10 days, magsasubmit po yung investigator ng pre-charge investigation report, sir.
Okay, within 10 days. And when will be that 10 days lapse?
The 10 days will lapse po after na nabigyan po siya ng notice, sir.
Kailan nga? When was that notice was received by Colonel Grijaldo? Para lang po masundan natin. And please, Mr. Chairman, we ask the IDM and the PRM to update us, no, with regards to the case. Ngayon po, ang tanong lang po, when was the time that Colonel Grijaldo received?
We will check the records po ng DIDM, sir.
Kasi po, the previous hearing was November 7, November 8. So, we do believe that during that time, after siguro, kasabihin mo na, after 2 days or 3 days. So now, it's December. Tama?
Yes, po, sir. November.
Anyway, ano lang po,
Yes, sir. We will check our records.
check nyo na lang po, then mamaya, update na lang po, no?
Yes, sir. Yes po, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Chair.
Chairman.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair.
Yes, Congressman Flores.
Just to add with what
Chairman Karas was saying, PNP, for a while na, for every time that he fails to appear here giving flimsy excuses like that, would it be one count?
Yes po, Mr.
So
Chair.
are you saying that you have filed or initiated 2 or more of the cases against him?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
We want to be sure, kasi it's obvious that he's making these excuses to avoid appearing here in this committee.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
And in addition to that, the commissioner of NAPOLCOM is present.
Yes, he's also present. I think I already asked you about this, CEO. No? Kasi we're really serious. This is an affront to the committee na ginagawa niya lang ng mga excuses to avoid being here. Yet sa ibang committees naman, sumisipot siya. Di ba? Just to be fair with the guy.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Congressman Acop, with the indulgence of Congressman Paduano.
Yes. Attorney, what is the rank of Colonel Grijaldo?
Colonel po, Mr. Chair.
Full Colonel.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Therefore, he is a presidential appointee.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
According to the rules, can he be investigated without the approval of the President?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. After po ng mayroong formal charge, so if there is already determination na may probable cause po, Mr. Chair, we will seek already presidential clearance before mag-proceed po tayo ng summary hearing procedure, Mr. Chair.
So you are telling this committee that the time that you will seek presidential clearance for you to investigate a presidential appointee would be after the finding of a probable cause?
Yes, Mr. Chair, yung pag-seek po ng presidential clearance to proceed to summary hearing na po, sir, proper.
And normally, how long does it take for you to come up with a recommendation to the President or the request for the approval of the President to conduct an investigation insofar as a presidential appointee is concerned?
Ideally po, sir, 110 days po, sir. Until po we will submit a recommendation to the Office of the President po, sir.
Kasi it defeats the purpose kung ganun. Diba? Yeah. Now, Mr. Chair, may I move that in the next committee hearing, we invite the attending physician of Colonel Grijaldo? So move, Mr. Chair.
There is a
Second,
motion
Mr. Chair.
to invite the attending physician of Colonel Grijaldo in the next Quadcom hearing, duly seconded. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Comsec, please send the invitation to the attending physician of Colonel Grijaldo. Yes, anything else, Congressman
Last
Paduano?
in the list, Mr. Chairman, is the invitation that was addressed to Miss Rose Nonolin. During the last hearing, he was absent because he was abroad, no, attending family matters. And now, the information is Rose Nonolin is now in the Philippines, and I would like to check with the BID if indeed that is true, that Miss Rose Nonolin is now in the country from Hong Kong, I think. Now, but of course, she wrote a letter signed by the lawyers coming from Sigyun Reyna Montesilio and Ong Siako law offices, and the excuse is urgent due to urgent personal matters, Mr. Chairman. Now, before we discuss this, BID, nandito ba ang BID? BID? Wala.
Yes, Comsec, is the BID present?
The representative was here earlier this morning, sir. They submitted the document that we required. And one of those is the travel record of Ms. Rose Nonolin. And it confirmed that she is already in the country.
Comsec, ano lang po, produce
Yes,
ng
sir,
dokumento.
yes,
So, he's now in the country. That was confirmed by the ID to the travel documents. Now,
Chair, Mr. Chair, may I, with the indulgence of course, Chairman Carabs. Sir Chair, I believe the PNP doctors are here to update us regarding the medical condition of Colonel Grijaldo. And then we have already decided the case of Colonel Grijaldo, and we even inviting the the attending physician. May I request, since we will be expecting more guests later, that they may be excused, our PNP doctors, from the hearings, Mr. Chair, because they're only here again to update us with the case of Colonel Grijaldo, his medical condition, Mr. Chair.
Yes, I believe we can excuse
Yes.
the medical doctors of the PNP already unless there's a violent objection from any of the members. But since there's none, thank you for your presence and informing this committee on the status of Colonel Hector Grijaldo. I hope to see you again in the next hearing. Thank you. So, may I ask everybody, the members, that we allow first the members to finish what they need to finish before we interject anything. Because Congressman Paduano is still discussing some of the admin matters, and after this, we will proceed with the interpellations. Now, by the way, ang ating pong guest sa issue ng drugs ay si Mr. Jimmy Guban, si Mr. Mark Taguba, andito rin yung ating mga taga-PIDEA, andito rin yung ating taga-Bucor, andito rin si Miss Jed Pilapil-C, the wife of the alleged drug lord who was killed in Dumoy, Davao. I think General Wilkins Villanueva, the former PIDEA Director General, is familiar with the case of Mr. Alan C., the husband of Jed Pilapil-C. And sino pa bang nandito natin na guest sa dangerous drugs? I'm sure they will come. If Congressman Paduano is done, can we now proceed with
Mr.
the
Chair.
members? Yes,
Mr. Chair.
Congressman Vargas.
Mr. Chair, I would just like to manifest and comment kasi we were told that this is the second excuse of Ms. Rose Nonolin to be absent from this committee. So she's here in the Philippines, and I have pictures that 2 days ago she's campaigning in my district. So the thing is, her statement or the information that she has is very important. She established that she lied about when she met her husband, but in 2002, they already have a daughter. This can establish that they already knew each other. Lin Wei Xiong, aka Alan Lim, already knew Rose Nonolin. Now remember, she's the only Filipino left in the highest of highest matrices that was issued by the Senate, by the House of Representatives, and by PIDEA. Siya na yung natitirang mataas dito. So I believe the second information then that she said there was no criminal charges issued against her husband as asked by Chairman Akop. We're waiting for the ombudsman to give us the cases. We have the case numbers, but we just need the cases. So we really need to have her here because the longer she waits, the more she can fix things, the more she can make her move to fix things. So it's already been twice, and she's here naman. So why don't we, for me, I believe, I would like to make a motion. I move that we subpoena to testify Ms. Rose Nonolin so she can have an avenue to clarify all the allegations and the qualms and questions that we have. So Mr. Chair, I repeat, I move to issue a subpoena to testify for Ms. Rose Nonolin. And just another note, the birth certificate post that was made by her daughter has already been removed as of this morning. So there's already a track of covering, di ba? There's traces of covering. So I hope she can come here and clear her name and address the issues.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
we will again extend another invitation for Miss Rose Nonolin, and she has sent, I think, a letter as to why she was absent for the hearing scheduled for today. And para naman po hindi lumabas na tayo po'y nanggigipit, no? Bibigyan po natin ng pagkakataon, but with a promise that in the next scheduled committee hearing that she will not attend, then it will give the committee grounds to cite her in contempt. And of course, ang kasunod po ng contempt ay ang order to arrest her. So I hope that is clear to Congressman Vargas.
Very clear, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much
Okay,
po.
maraming salamat. Congressman Acop?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. May I know if LRA is represented today?
Any representative from LRA?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, and good afternoon to the honorable members of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Were you present in the previous hearing?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Now, I think there are some requirements from your office which are supposed to submit.
Yes,
Did you
Mr.
submit
Chair.
all these requirements?
Earlier this morning, Mr. Chair, 2 requirements out of 4 requirements were submitted earlier this morning. Because for Mr. Chair, we received a letter dated December 10, 2024 requiring us 4 submissions. For items number 1 and 4, Mr. Chair, the same has been complied earlier this morning, Mr. Chair. However, for items number 2 and 3, the same has not yet been complied, Mr. Chair, considering that there's a need for further investigation, Mr. Chair, considering that the request mentioned in items number 2 and 3 requires verification, Mr. Chair, considering that, for example, for item number 3, we are being required to submit list of lands owned by those represented themselves as Filipino citizens but are actually foreign nationals. Same is, in order to comply the same, Mr. Chair, we still need to verify the nationality.
I'll be specific. Did you submit a precise calculation of the land areas represented by the 30 titles issued to Empire 999
Yes, Mr.
with a
Chair.
special focus on the 9 titles located in Mexico, Pampanga?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Was this submitted already?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. And about the land documents pertaining to the land transactions between Mr. Alex Tumang and Mr. Willie Ong,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
submitted already?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
How about you all the detailed reports on the number of land holdings acquired by Empire 999?
Submitted, Mr. Chair.
Submitted. And lastly, for you to provide a complete accounting of all lands transferred to foreign nationals in Mexico, Pampanga, including both titled and untitled property. Di ba?
In order to confirm, Mr. Chair, Attorney Lorna D. is here. The Register of Deeds for the province of Pampanga. It will be verified by Attorney.
Your Honor, good morning. With regards the records of the list of properties owned by aliens, we cannot yet provide it, Your Honor, unless the PSA will give us the list of those supposedly Chinese citizens or foreign nationals whose birth certificates has been canceled. So
Can you-
from
Yes. Can you please coordinate with PSA? Kailangan pa bang orderan ng committee na ito? Or you can do it with lateral coordination with the aforementioned agency, the PSA?
yes, Your Honor, we will do that.
Thank you. Pidea, are you here this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were required in the last hearing to submit the official Pidea Region 11 logbook.
Yes, Your Honor. We submitted it.
Covering December 31, 2004 and January 1 to 5, 2005.
Yes, Your Honor.
This was submitted already.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. For NBI,
NBI.
in the last hearing, the NBI was directed to obtain Mr. Alan Lim's case files and fingerprint records from the Cavite Court to verify his identity and involvement. Dahil in the last hearing, sabi ni Gerald Wilkins Villanueva, hindi magkaiba yung tao na pre-represent. And Miss Madam Nono Lim also denied na yun ang kanyang asawa. So, in the last hearing, NBI was directed to obtain the case files and fingerprint records from the Cavite Court to verify his identity and involvement. Was this already submitted?
NBI?
Mr. Chairman, we already secured the records from the court, and the examination of those fingerprints in comparison to available records of Lee Winchong is underway, Mr. Chairman.
So when can this be finished and be submitted to this committee?
The examination is ongoing, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, I know. My question is when can it be submitted?
I will coordinate with the fingerprint examiner, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Is the LTO represented today? Okay, wala.
LTO? Are you... Well, there's no LTO representative?
Because in the last hearing, Mr. Chair, yung listahan po ng mga ini-eliminate o nililiquidate, kaya madali raw mahanap dahil ang tumutulong po sa kanila ay yung taga-LTO. Kaya we were asking for the complete name of the regional director of LTO then. Kaya I think LTO was directed to find out kung sino po yung kwan nun.
So, Comsec, have we communicated with the LTO as to the name of the regional director?
We only invited them, sir, but we have not.
Thank you.
Thank you. Maybe in the next hearing, this can be verified. Thank you, Mr. Chair. PSA. Is PSA represented today?
Yes, Your Honor.
The PSA was required to provide the committee all the birth certificates for the children of Rose Nonolin.
Yes, Your Honor. It's already submitted.
Thank you. And for the Bureau of Immigration, nandito ba? All the requirements were submitted, Comsec. And would Comsec please provide the members copies of this document? I think that would be all, Mr. Chair. Marami pong salamat.
Okay, thank
Chairman.
you.
Chairman.
Thank you,
Just,
Congressman
one
Acop.
quick-
Yes, Congressman Paduano.
Chairman, with regards to the documents being required to LRA, ma'am, I have talked before the hearing started. I talked to AMLA, and he told me that some documents that you have submitted in the previous hearing pa po, well, in fact, during the Mexico Pampanga hearing, at it was submitted to the Quadcom committee, to the Quad committee, you submit a different documents, not all those documents. List of properties being acquired by foreign national and companies.
Yes, Your Honor, may I clarify that? Because these data are being extracted only, a difference in spelling will produce a different result. However,
So, ma'am, to cut you short. So, in short, you submitted to us previously documents that is not verified. Are you saying that?
no, Your Honor, we verified it. I'll take, for example, the case of A.D. Tayang. The spelling of the A.D. In the documents that we submitted in the previously is AEDY. But now, the spelling that was given to LRA Central Office is AEDI. So it produced no results. That's why there's a difference. That's why we're consolidating it now, Your Honor.
But ma'am, again, let me warn you. In the case of Eddie Tayang, malinaw po, di ba? Yung isang property, that's why during the Mexico, Pampanga, in my committee hearing, I told you, and I warned you, na wala munang galawan dun sa mga properties. And well, in fact, one of the property of Eddie Tayang was sold to a certain Rodingo. Di ba?
Yes, Your
Now
Honor.
you're telling us na bago yung mga list, tapos ano nakalagay doon sa notes nyo? Na yung previous not on record?
No, it's on record, Your Honor. The list that we submitted before has the title numbers, yes, in the name of A.D. Tayang.
No, I'm not just, Eddie Tayang is just an example.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, ang tanong ko ngayon, are those documents being submitted previously? Is the same documents that you have submitted in today's hearing?
They are not the same, Your Honor, in the sense that if there is a difference in spelling, there's a difference in the result. So we're now consolidating, we're checking the spelling of all the names submitted last week and the names that we submitted previously so that we can consolidate all our reports.
Ma'am, ano lang ako, medyo, kasi until now, AMLA, the case that was filed, dun sa mga forfeiture of properties, isa pa lang po, okay, that's not your fault. It's the fault of AMLA. But, ang sinasabi ko lang po, pag may nangyari, dun sa mga dokumento, babalikan ko yan sa staff ko, may mangyari doon sa dokumento that you have submitted and taxation being made in the period in which you submit the document, may problema po kayo.
Yes, Your Honor.
I will personally recommend to file a case against you.
Yes, Your Honor. We
Para malinaw lang po. Because I have already warned you. Sa public accounts pa lang. Kasi po, inaayos ka natin itong proseso natin dito sa inyo.
Yes, Your Honor. With due respect, I was the one who called the attention of our legal department that there is a discrepancy in the report that was submitted this morning.
Okay, but ang sinasabi ko lang po, that's why, ano na po, ingat-ingat po tayo. Kasi, I've told you before,
Yes, Your Honor.
nalusutan tayo dun sa isang property, prime property pa. Saka talagang malinaw na kay Eddie Yang yun, bininta kay Rodingo. Diba?
Yes, Your Honor. For the record, Your Honor, we already complied with 2 orders of injunction from the CA, and the other one is from the SEC regarding the nullification of the Certificate of Registration of Empire Estate 999.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, dyan na po muna ako, no? And before I yield to SDS Dong, Chairman, can we direct the COMSEC, Mr. Chairman, that baka pwedeng mag-overtime kayo during the break. Pag-reconcile lahat ng mga dokumentong pinadala sa atin ng LRA before submitting it to AMLA for any legal purposes. Thank you, Chairman.
Comsec, please comply. Yes, SDS Gonzales.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. RD Lorna, kasi, alam mo, tiga Pampanga tayo, tiga San Fernando ako, tiga Mexico ako. Kung po pwede, yung from Pandara, San Fernando, covered court na piginawa ko ron, kung pupunta ka sa Mabalacat, tingin ka sa kanan, di ba? May makikita ka doon, covered court pinagawa ko. Lahat ng lupa na yon, almost 500 hectares yung lupang yon. Dire-diretso mo yon, kakanan ka, San Felipe na yon, San Fernando. Pag dumiretso ka ng San Felipe, San Jose Matulid, San Antonio, San Lorenzo, hanggang doon sa Quezon Road. Ang lupa doon is, lagay ko, more or less 600 hectares. Kaya more or less, San Fernando plus Mexico, equals to 1.1 million hectares. So kung po pwede, i-consolidate mo lahat, gawa natin na, i-plot natin na maayos, and then we will compare the names of the owner. Yung Yatay Holdings po yan. Tapos may Empire dyan, yung pinag-uusapan natin. So yun lang ang request ko. If you can coordinate to the assessor of the city of San Fernando and the city and municipality of Mexico, and then the RD, the LRA, we can consolidate all of that.
Yes, Your Honor, we will coordinate with the assessor of the city of San Fernando. And for the records, Your Honor, as regards the Mexico properties, we had submitted the documents regarding the Yatay Holdings and the Board of Directors. And the total area of this property is 499
Hectares.
hectares, Your Honor.
499 hectares. So hindi ako malapit dun sa sinabi ko. Except for the area of San Fernando.
Yes, Your Honor. And we have the Register of Deeds of the City of San Fernando here so that we can also work with him regarding the plotting of all these land holdings.
Okay. Sige, pakiayos lang po natin and then we will attach the original owner of that.
Yes, however, Your Honor, our records will only yield data regarding titled properties. The unregistered titles, unregistered lands, the records of which may be taken from the City Assessor of San Fernando and the Assessor of Mexico.
Yes, we can plot that if we have the title. Whoever, kung yung pangalan medyo mali yung spelling, we can plot the consolidation
Yes,
of the
Your Honor.
of
We
the
will
property.
submit the record.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, RD Lorna.
Thank you, SDS Gonzales. Now we will proceed with the interpellation proper. The first to interpellate is, may I have the list, Congressman Paduan, no? The list, Congressman J. Kung Hoon. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First, Mr. Chair, can I direct my question to Mr. Mark Taguba?
Please proceed, Congressman Kung Hoon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Mark Taguba, tatanong ko lang, paano kayo nagsimulang maging sangkot sa pag-release ng mga container sa Bureau of Customs?
Meron po akong tracking. So, ayun po. Nag-process din po kami ng container. I-broker din po ako. At yun si Irene naman, yun po yung consignee for hire, yung EMT.
Itong tracking business na nabanggit mo sa affidavit mo, ito yung kay TJ Marceliana at Irene May Tatat na magkatapos.
Hindi po. Yung tracking po is sa akin po yun, Golden Strike tracking. At yung EMT naman, yun po yung kay Irene, yung ginagamit niya consignee. Tapos si TJ po, broker po siya. Accredited broker po siya sa Bureau of Customs.
Sino-sino yung mga consignee na for hire na ginamit mo? Kasi madami yung ganyang sistema sa custom.
Opo. Ang ginamit ko po ay yung EMT Trading, yung Integrity Trading, at saka yung RO&SS Trading.
Doon sa affidavit mo, nabanggit mo na yung trabaho ng isang customs broker, pwede mo bang ipakipaliwanag o yung trabaho ng isang customs broker?
Sige po. Unang-una po, hindi po ako customs broker. Po ay sa tracking business. Si TJ po yung broker ko. So, pagka may nag-i-inquire sa aking client kung magkano yung halaga ng kailangan para magparating ng isang container, nire-refer ko po yung kay TJ. So, si TJ naman po ang bahala dahil siya po ay accredited sa Bureau of Customs para magtanong po sa Bureau of Customs magkano po yung duties and taxes tsaka kung ano-ano po. I-relay niya po sa akin yun tapos dadagdag ko naman po yung lahat-lahat, yung all-in po, yung shipping lines, yung tracking, pati na rin po yung TARA. So, tapos doon ko po ibibigay doon sa client kung magkano yung all-in.
Ipaliwanag nga kung ano yung binabanggit ng Tara. Ano ba yung nangyayari pag nagbibigay ka ng
Pag nagbibigay po kayo ng tara, syempre po, yung shipment mo, mapapabilis. So, katulad po nung sa akin, halos lahat ng shipment ko, green lane po siya. So, pagka green lane po kasi siya, hindi na siya kailangan ng document inspection, hindi na rin siya kailangan ng physical inspection. Marami rin siyang nalalagpasan na proseso sa Bureau of Customs. Mabilis siya nakakalabas ng Bureau of Customs. So, yun po yun, pagka may tara.
So, tatlo yung lane, customs. Isang
Yes po.
green, isang yellow, isang red. Tama ba?
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Balikan natin yung insidente kung saan nasangkot ka sa pag-i-import ng 5 metal cylinders na naglalaman ng 605 kilogram. Ikwento nga ito.
Wait lang po, Mr. Chair. So, yung nangyari po kasi sa amin, is si Richard Tan daw po yung... si Richard Tan po kasi may-ari ng Hongfei. Siya po yung importer, siya rin din yung exporter, no? Yung EMT naman po kasi, dami lang po yan consignee for hire. So, siya talaga yung may-ari ng 5 metal cylinders na yon. So, hindi ko po kilala si Richard Tan. Ang kilala ko lang po is si Kenneth Dong. So, nag-inquire po siya sa akin. Nagbigay siya ng mga in-inquire niya sa aking list. Tinanong ko kay TJ, yung list po na binigay niya sa akin, wala po kasing nakalagay doon na 5 metal cylinders. So, alam namin, regular shipment lang siya. Regular general merchandise. So, ginawa ni TJ nung ginagawa niya bilang broker, binigay ko kay Kenneth Dong naman yung pinaka-all-in niya. So, yun po. So, nung dumating na po yung container, May 15 po siya. Dumating yung barko, May 15. So, pagkadating po kasi ng barko, bago po siya mag-arrive sa port, nagbibigay po ng manifest yung barko doon sa Bureau of Customs 24 hours bago dumating. So, nalaman namin yon. May 17 po, nag-dock na yung barko. Doon na rin binaba yung container. Tapos, ayun nga po, I think from May 22 hanggang May 24, yun po yung releasing. So, hindi siya agad, kahit green lane siya, hindi agad siya ni-release. Kasi po, sabi ko po noon na halos 100 containers po yung napaparating every week. So dahil hindi naman siya nirarush nung may-ari, minabuti kong gamitin na lang yung truck ko sa ibang mga shipment. So May 24, nilabas na siya ng port. Tapos dineliver na siya sa Hongfei, Valenzuela. Tapos umalis na yung truck na ibalik na rin niya yung container. Yung rate po sa Valenzuela, May 25 po siya ng gabi kung di po ako nagkakamali. Tapos yun na po. Lumabas na sa balita na may nahuli nga pong mga nakalagay dun sa metal cylinder.
Anong country of origin at port of loading itong shipment na ito?
Ang nakalagay po kasi Hongfei China Xiamen Daosu Import-Export Company. So sa Xiamen po siya, China.
Anong goods yung nakalagay sa nito? Nakalagay sa description nito? At kung ano yung declared value nito?
Wala po kasi akong dokumento dito pero ang pagkakaalala ko po is cutting board, footwear, kitchenware, yun po, 4 po yun Wala po kasi akong document dito.
Mr. Taguba, sabi mo noon sa Senado, ikaw ay nag-ayos ng shipment pwede mo bang ipaliwanag kung ano yung sistema mo sa pag-ayos ng mga shipment?
Yun nga po, may mag-i-inquire po sa akin. Tapos, meron kaming broker, meron akong consignee. Yun po, kung ano yung, mag-i-inquire sila sa akin, kung ano yung duties and taxes all in nung isang container. Tatanungin ko sa broker ko, tapos babalik ko sa kanila kung magkano yung all in.
Ano yung mga shipment na pinapasok mo rito?
Mga general merchandise po eh. Yan po, mga katulad po niyan, mga tableware, kitchenware, mga shoes po. Mga regular shipment lang.
First time mo ba nasangkot sa yung mga shipment mo sa illegal na first time ba ito?
Opo.
From the examiner hanggang sa collector, pati sa terminal handling, meron bang nakukuha kada container yung mga taga Bureau of Customs at umaabot pa ito sa commissioner?
Opo, meron po.
Magkano yung nakukuha nila?
Hindi ko na po alam yung breakdown eh. Pero yan po, may iba-iba po kasi bawat departamento.
Sino nag-impose ng TARA system na ito sa mga taga Bureau of Customs?
Hindi ko po alam kung sino nag-impose, Your Honor.
May kilala ka ba na nakinabang sa TARA system?
Nakinabang, siyempre lahat po sila yung sa, yan, mga taga Bureau of Customs po. Lahat po sila na binibigyan ng TARA. Nakinabang po silang lahat.
Gaano kada isang container yung ibinibigay ninyo?
Hindi ko na po. Ang all-in ko po kasi 170,000 po eh. So, pero kasama din rin po kasi doon yung duties and taxes tsaka shipping line. Siguro po pagka nakuha ko po yung mga affidavit ko tsaka dokumento ko, masasagot ko po yan.
Nakakailan ka kada isang linggo na container na nailalabas mo na binabayaran mo ng 170,000?
Umabot po ng 100 po kada isang linggo.
Ano-ano yung mga laman nun?
Yan po, mga general merchandise po.
So, saan at kanino ka nagre-remit?
Iba-iba po. So, meron, katulad nga po, nabanggit ko po sa Davao Group, isa po yan. Sa mga taga Bureau of Customs din po. So, yun po, mga nagre-remit po ako sa kanila.
Ibig mo bang sabihin, pag hindi ka nagbigay ng TARA, hindi lalabas yung shipment mo sa customs?
Opo, kasi po, sila po yung may authority. Nung panahon po na yan, binuo po yung command center. So, yan pong command center, nasa kanila po lahat ng authority na mag-alert. Pero ayun nga po, dahil sila lang ang may authority na makapag-alert, tsaka makapag-release din ng container, nasa kanila din yung responsibilidad. Tuwing may, yan po, sa nangyari po sa amin, ganyan, dapat po kasama rin sila dito sa kaso namin.
Paano pag halimbawa yung container mo legit naman? Okay naman yung mga nakalagay. Nagbibigay ka pa ba rin ng TARA para doon sa mga container na legit naman?
Opo. Lahat po ng container po, tingin ko po subject po one way or the other sa TARA system.
So nagbibigay ka para hindi ka ma-harass, tama ba? Ayon sa iyong affidavit.
Opo, yes po.
Ano bang description mo ng paghaharas sa iyo ng mga taga Bureau of
Yun po, pwede nilang i-hold yung container, pwede nilang i-alert. Bigyan ko rin po kayo ng isang example. No? Kunwari, meron po kayong parating. No? So, yung binili nyo pong sapatos, sabihin natin, mga nasa 3,000 po, isang buong container. Lahat yung mga goods mo, 3,000 lang. Meron kang mga proof na nabili mo lang siyang 3,000. So, darating sa bansa, wala namang problema yung container mo. Pero pwede nilang sabihin na hindi 3,000 yung halaga niyan, 5,000 yan, nakita ko sa Google eh. So may karapatan silang i-hold yun. Papupuntahin ka nila sa Bureau of Customs, no? Yun yung customs duties. Ikaw naman, dahil negosyante ka, i-hold yung container, kesa anuhin mo yung kanilang napakahabang proseso, magbibigay ka na lang para makalabas yung container mo at makapagnegosyo ka. So nasabi ko po yan na tingin ko po, lahat mo ng shipment, dumadaan po talaga sa TARA system, one way or the other.
Sino-sino yung mga nangahara sa'yo? Pag hindi ka nagbigay ng TARA sa custom.
Ayan po, isa po dyan yung ComSend. Ayan po. Kasi sila yung may pinakamalakas na sila lang yung time na yun talagang halos na consolidate nila yung authority na sa kanila lang lahat. Pero katulad nga po ng sinabi ko, sa kanila lahat ng authority, pero sa kanila rin lahat ng responsibilidad. Kaya hanggang ngayon, tataka ako bakit hindi sila kasama dito sa kaso namin.
Mark, ilang taon ka na?
33 po.
33. Anong taon ka nung nasama ka sa ganitong klaseng trabaho?
26 po.
26. So, at the age of 26 years old, paano ka napasama sa Davao Group? Or paano ka nakipag-transact sa Davao Group?
Ayun po, tulad ng sinabi ko, yung mga pangahas, so kaya nilang gawin yon. So, ang ginawa nila, pinag-alert nila yung mga container ko. Ngayon, meron akong kakilala kasi sa SSPDC, si Jojo Bacod po. Ni-refer niya ako dito sa Tita Nani. Tapos po, ayun po, nag-meet po kami, si Jojo Bacod, si Tita Nani, si Noel, tsaka si Jack. In-explain nila na sila na nga ang pinaka-powerful doon. Kung hindi ka papasok sa grupo nila, hindi ka makakapag-transact sa Bureau of Customs. So, ang pagkakaintindi ko po doon, wala pong player o sino man na gusto magparating na hindi dumadaan sa kanila. Kasi nga, pag di ka nagbigay sa kanila, maharas nila, mahuhold nila yung mga container mo.
Sino si Jojo Bacod? Paano mo siya nakilala?
Si Jojo Bacod po, nakilala ko po yan. Taga-sabin po kasi yan sa Piat. So, nagkataon naman na nasama siya sa SSPDC nung panahon na yon. So, nasabi niya nga sa akin na, yun, kaya niya akong tulungan sa mga problema ko sa Bureau of Customs. At ni-refer niya nga ako doon kila Tita Nani. Si Tita Nani naman nagsabi na, yun nga, sila yung Davao Group. Ayun, kailangan pumasok sa amin kung gusto mo makapag-transact sa Bureau of Customs, kung gusto mo makapag-negosyo pa. So, yun po. Ako naman, hindi ko... Ang gusto ko lang naman magnegosyo kung sa totoo lang po. So, kung sino man yung mga binabanggit nilang mga tao nasa likod nito, binabanggit nila sila Paulo Duterte at si Mans Carpio. Sila po yung mga nagbabanggit nun.
Bakit parang napakabigat, no? Napakatindi ng impluwensya ni Jojo Bacod sa Bureau of Customs? Ay, explain ka nga ito.
Hindi ko rin po alam eh. Siguro may mga kilala lang kasi siya. Ayun nga, nagkataon kilala niya to yung mga taong to sa Davao Group. Tapos kilala rin niya itong si Big Brother, si Allen Capuyan. So, marami siyang kilala mga may influensyang tao. Kaya yun siguro, kaya malakas din ang influensya niya sa Bureau of Customs.
Nagbibigay ka ba ng pera kay Jojo Bacod?
Opo. Nung simula po, nagbibigay po ako sa kanya. So, pero dumating yung panahon na hindi niya kaya. So, ini-refer na niya ako doon kila Tita Nani. So, yun, nagbigay na naman ako doon sa kanila, sa Davao Group. Yun po. Yun po yung storya nung kay Jojo pa.
Paano mo nakilala si Tita Naning? Tinatawag mong Tita Naning na pinakilala ni Jojo Bacod.
Ayun po, siya po, pinag-meet niya kami. Hindi ko na po maalala kung saang mall yun eh. Pero, ayun, mabilis lang naman yung meeting namin. Pinakilala lang niya sa akin yung mga taong yun nga raw yung Davao Group. Tapos, sinabi nila sa akin nga na hindi ka na makapagtansak sa Bureau of Customs kung hindi ka kasama sa amin. Ayan. At kailangan may enrollment fee na 5 million. So, pinapapunta nila ako sa Davao nun para daw i-meet si Paulo Duterte. At may text po ako niyan eh. Ano po yan? Sinubmit ko po yan sa dati pa noon pa sa Senate investigation. Tsaka dito rin po sa Congress. So yun po yung ebidensya ko kay Tita Nani. Ayun po, lumipad po ako ng Davao noon dahil sa utos nila. At ibinigay ko yung pera kay Small Abellera. Sinundo muna ako ni Jack. Siya yung wala naman kaming doon sa sakyan. Sinundo kami ni
Sandali lang,
Jack.
Mark. Dito muna tayo kay Tita Naning. Paano ka napaniwala ni Tita Naning na member nga siya ng Davao Group? Alay mo, sabi-sabi lang niya yun.
Opo. Kasi po si Jojo Bahud, yun lang yung dahilan kaya ako naniwala sa kanila eh. Dahil si Jojo Bahud, matagal na rin namin kilala yan eh. So, hindi ko iniisip na baka niloloko lang nila ako. So, yun lang po yung naging basihan ko. Dahil si Jojo Bahud po yung nagsabi.
Anong prueba ang ibinigay sa iyo ni Tita Naning na para masabi nga na talagang legit siya? Na member nga ng Davao Group.
Ang pinaka-prueba lang po na maibibigay ko sa inyo is lahat ng transactions ko is naging green lane siya. Lahat po ng dokumento ko, pagka kinumpara nyo, puro pare-parehas. Puro 40,000 yung tax niya. So, kahit sino, pagka nakita yun, i-hold nila yun kasi bakit pare-parehas. So, yun lang po ang mabibigay kong prueba sa inyo na kung totoo ba si Tita Nani, yung Davao Group. Dahil tingin ko, walang basbas sa taas, hindi mangyayari yun. Hindi makakalabas yung ganong karaming container ng ganong kabilis.
So, ibig mo sabihin, nung nakilala mo si Tita Naning, bumilis at tumaan ang buhay mo sa Bureau of Customs, hindi ka na sa Bureau of Customs.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Kindly wrap up, Congressman Kungul.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I'd like to na lang sa susunod na mag-interpolate. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congressman Konghun.